All right, so behind the line, we're right here with Johnny. Johnny, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Chef. How are you today?
Doing wonderful, doing wonderful. All right, so today we're gonna be diving in a little bit more into your world,
Mm-hmm.
your business. Um, we're gonna go through a couple questions.
Yep.
Simple. The whole goal is to kind of go over what your business is,
Mm-hmm.
how you started, and where you're at right now.
Yeah.
All right, so introduce yourself. Tell
Yep.
me a
So,
little bit about yourself.
I'm Johnny Van Cora. I'm the owner and head baker of Bread by Johnny. I've been baking bread like professionally since 2011 when I was 14 years old. I went to farmers markets, had bread subscription services, and baked everything in my parents' kitchen when I was in high school. And then I got the opportunity to open up my first bakery in Jupiter in 2018. It's a retail brick and mortar storefront, 1,000 square feet. We made entirely organic sourdough breads, made fresh every single morning. And then in the last 6 months, we actually opened up our second location, which we call Bread by Johnny South in West Palm Beach on Okeechobee and Military. And it's a close to 5,000 square foot production facility where we make bread on a larger scale. Like the goal is to take the soul of the artisanal sourdough process and be able to mass produce it for a larger, wider audience, being able to make bread for clients like Buchan and Grotto, the Breakers, the Ben and the O, and actually be able to produce this nourishing, delicious product on a much wider scale and be able to support local and regional vendors along the way.
Nice, nice, nice. So you've been open what since 2018, right? I'm
Yes,
not
in
mistaken.
Jupiter,
In
we've been
Jupiter.
open since 2018. And that was when I really just went full time into the actual brick and mortar and really just went into it. Because
Gotcha.
before that, I was doing everything. I was at the Gardens Green Market, I was at the Tequesta Green Market, and I was basically a cottage baker. And this was how I went like full into.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit about the process. Like, how did the idea of you
Mhm.
baking breads to sell at the green market started?
I always loved to cook, and I always loved cooking with my grandparents. I always loved just like eating and just like understanding food, and I wanted to work in a restaurant, but I was a 14-year-old that nobody wanted to hire in a restaurant kitchen. I mean, would you hire? Would you?
Understandable,
Would you?
understandable,
Would you hire a
understandable.
clumsy 14-year-old?
No.
Exactly. So I kind of realized I was more of a liability than anything else. And at that same time, a family friend showed me a really simple Italian bread recipe that I started making, and I just kind of fell in love with the process, and it just kind of snowballed. And I was like, and I started selling bread door to door. And I feel like in
Wow.
the beginning it was kind of like people bought it out of pity, but like it they actually tried the bread and like, oh wow, this is actually like pretty good. And like compared to where the bread is now, it's like, night and day. But it was for the time it was good, crusty Italian bread, and like I think people thought it was cool.
That's
And
awesome.
I just kind of snowballed, and it just went from there. And then I did that bread subscription service, and it turned into going to green markets. I remember I did.
Now, sorry to cut you up. The
Mhm.
bread subscription, what is that?
Which one?
The subscription.
Yeah, I would have subscribers that I'd reach out to every week and be like, "Hey, do you want bread this week?" And they'd be like, "Yep, give me 3 loaves, 2 loaves, 1 loaf. I'm good this week." And then I would deliver it to their door. And it was all people within like I grew up in Abacoa, so it was all kind of in those like
That
interlocking
okay,
communities.
okay.
And like I would like walk around like with a wagon, just like carry the bread and bring it.
Hey,
So
you
I
got to
wasn't
do
able
what
to
you
I
got
wasn't
to
able to
do.
drive at the time. Uh,
That's
so
awesome, though. That's awesome. Hey,
mhm.
so you had the idea since you were young, right?
Yeah, and it started off just out of like I kind of need to do something with my time. Like I'm like like I want to, and like it turned into something that actually became much bigger than I could have ever really imagined. Like, and that's really cool. Like it's that's why on like our logo it says established 2011.
Nice. Oh,
Mhm.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Okay, so all right. Do you have any photos of that?
yeah. I could
All
definitely show
right,
you
bet
some.
we're gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and pop it up,
Oh
so you can
yeah.
go ahead and post it up. All right,
I have
that's
a photo
awesome.
from my first green market actually.
Oh, that's great. Hey, listen, those are memories. You got to keep
Hmm.
them. So tell me a little bit about what happened when it came to opening this first location in
Yes.
Jupiter, right?
Hmm.
So how did that come from point A to point B? How did it happen?
Yeah, no, so I kind of built up like a subscriber base in the community. Like I'd been doing it like on and off. I went to college, so I'd only do it on like the like over Thanksgiving, Christmas, and summer breaks and everything like that. So like I built up a customer base. I actually had some chefs in the area that liked the bread,
Nice.
especially when I started shifting the bread to sourdough, and it was probably 2015.
Okay.
I removed all the commercial yeast out of all my recipes and just shifted them towards actual natural, like long fermented, natural leavened sourdough. One thing that's actually kind of funny is that when I first started saying that the bread was sourdough, people were really adverse to that because they had the perception of what sourdough is. It's like vinegar bread. It tastes really, really sour,
Yeah.
but it's really just the process of the natural leaven. So we actually refer to it as naturally leavened bread rather than sourdough, just to not
Nice.
scare people
Okay,
away.
okay, okay,
Even though
okay.
now like sourdough is such a like in vogue thing, back then people were scared of it.
No, yeah, 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 for sure, for
So
sure.
but yeah.
So, what made you change from your regular bread into this product that you have now? Like, what was the whole point? Because starting a business takes
Mhm.
a lot, right? And it takes a lot of what do you want to do? Do you want to have great product, or you want to produce quantity
Mhm.
instead of yeah, quantity instead of quality?
Mhm.
So what made you want to go that route? Because I know a lot of places, I mean, the
Mhm.
goal is to sell, 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 and really not, yeah, a great product, but it's not, hey, let's make it healthier, let's make it nicer for the people to understand
It
what it
was
is.
my time, and so I was at Cornell, and I was really interested in like the agriculture behind wheat. And there is actually the mill that we use at our bakeries now. Farmer Ground is actually 10 miles away from the campus, and
Nice.
I found their flour and I fell in love with it. And I did a lot of research about the nutrition behind grains and like how your body reacts to wheat. And I learned that a natural fermentation process similar to sprouting brings out the nutrients, the flavor, and the actual fullest potential of the great wheat that we're
Okay.
using. So it was like, why would I be using this great product and not bring out the best of it? And at that time, I was in the process, like I was going on a health journey, and I'd lost about like 50 pounds, and I was doing it through eating my own
Nice.
bread through the sourdough. And I was like, this is not like people associate bread with something that's unhealthy,
Yeah.
but when you're using good grains and fermenting it, it's so much better for you. You feel better, and it was like, why would I sell something that isn't going to make my people that buy it feel the best that they could?
That's awesome. Yeah, because I know we had, well, I personally had your bread, and I also we buy your bread as well. So one of the things that I love about the bread is that even though it's bread
Mm-hmm.
and you can eat the whole loaf, honestly, and you don't feel full.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel like you're stuffed. You don't feel like you're like just bloated, and it's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
It's
And
nourishing. That's the
yeah,
difference.
yeah,
You
yeah,
feel satiated. You feel nourished,
yeah.
but you don't feel sick.
That's awesome. And I know a lot of people who are gluten
Should I be
free.
grabbing this?
If you want, yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
little.
A little
Yeah, a
closer,
little. Yeah, I
yeah.
got to look closer.
So I know a lot of people who are gluten free. They can have your bread, right?
Yes, the natural sourdough process, it actually breaks down the phytates in wheat, which is an anti-nutrient that causes inflammation. It also breaks down the gluten chains. It breaks down the starches and the sugars, makes it a lower glycemic index, and makes it much more digestible for those who have issues processing wheat or gluten. If you're celiac, stay away, but if you're sensitive,
All right.
more or less, you're generally okay.
Okay, that's awesome. No, that's awesome. So when you open up your first place,
Mm-hmm.
were you scared? Because I'm gonna tell you something. I have I have a business of my own,
Mm-hmm.
and the first time I opened my first business, I was freaking out. I was doing numbers. I was freaking out. I was like, I don't think this is gonna be enough. I don't think there's enough. We went full force. COVID hit, and it just shut us down, and which
Mm-hmm.
was horrible. But on your end, like when did you take that step where you were like, listen, this is it. I'm going to go all in. I'm gonna look for a place. I got what I got. Something's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. No, I knew when I graduated college I wanted to do it. Like my parents have always been very supportive of me. They were like, if this is what you want to do, like we're here for you. We're going to support you. We're going to go for it. And looked at spaces together. We found a old janky broken down pizzeria with like
Those are
called
the best.
Benito's. It had like cartoon Benito on the walls and like black mold and like
And
and I
listen,
was like, hey, this is my home. But it was good because it was a lot, everything was it was good bones. There's a lot of things that needed to be like torn out and everything, but it
okay,
had ventilation, it had three phase electric, it had water, different water lines, and like that was good. So it was a minimal build out.
those
We
are
got the
the most
ovens in,
important
yeah,
things. Oh, that's
and
awesome.
it was then like it was a great space. It was in Jupiter where I grew up, and that's where a lot of my retail customers were, and they love like they were excited when I told them I was coming to Jupiter and actually opening full time. So I knew, and like it just felt like a natural progression, and it was like baking bread is something that makes me truly happy. So it was a natural thing to want to just keep going with it.
Okay,
And it was
that's
kind of in my
awesome.
head. I was like, let's see the farthest I can go with this. Let's see,
Oh,
can I
that's
open
so
up an actual
awesome.
bakery? And there really aren't a lot of
Yeah, no, bake.
artisanal bread
Yeah, no.
bakeries in Palm Beach County and especially in Jupiter.
Okay,
So it
that's
was,
awesome. So you went to what did you go to college for?
I went to Cornell. I was in the hospitality program there,
Okay, got it,
hotel
got it, got it.
school.
Okay,
So it's like
nice.
a business degree that focuses on hotels, restaurants, country clubs, casinos.
Okay, so you were in the field already, essentially,
Yeah.
right? Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. I got in not on grades or SAT scores, but I remember bringing a loaf of bread to the alumni interview. It was like still hot out of the oven, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna open up a bakery when I graduate." And like,
What did they say?
they're like, "Oh man, this is fucking awesome."
Oh, that's great. Listen, that's awesome. That's awesome. So when you started you opened up the business the first day. I know you were telling me how hard it was because it went under renovation, right?
Mhm.
So what
Yeah.
was
So literally, the first week we opened, like it was like the first week we opened, we got the permits. The landlords decided they were going to do like a renovation. We knew the renovation was happening, but literally like it was like a week before the opening, just like complete like just tearing down like the facades, just like chainsaws going in and just like breaking down like all of like the stucco coming down, like scaffolding everywhere, just like holes dug everywhere in the parking lot. And I was like, oh, this is probably not going to be good for business. I
Oh my
remember it
god.
was like first day we opened, I made about 150 loaves. We sold 80 loaves like on the first day, and I was like, you know what, 80 loaves is not bad.
And
And
this was
then
before it was under renovation
it was
after.
after it was the first day we were open, so it was like a
Okay,
grand
okay,
opening. You
okay.
know what I
Gotcha,
mean?
gotcha,
And
gotcha.
like, so everything okay. 80 loaves isn't bad. Like that's good. I made like about 120 loaves for the next day. Sold five. I was like, okay, this is not how we're gonna do this every
Oh
day.
my god.
And like people were calling, oh, we want to find you, we want to find you, and like, but we don't know where you are. And I was trying to explain. I was like, yeah, we're in like the space with no
Where
sign in
you see
between
everything
two
broken.
vacant, yeah, between two vacant spaces with no sign. And like,
Oh
and like,
my
yeah, you
god.
know, I was like, you see that caution tape? Like, you just walk past the caution tape and you come to us.
There's nobody dead there. I
Yeah,
promise
I
you.
promise it's not crime scene. It's just caution tape.
It's construction.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that sucks. That sucks.
It was intense, and like I felt like I was baking into a void in a way. And like we had some great wholesale accounts in the very beginning that were really supportive of us, like Ristorante Claretta in Palm City. They were fantastic,
That's awesome.
and like they're still an account, and they were like really supportive in the beginning, and like you know, and like that was it was encouraging to have great chefs be like, okay, this is a great product, like we love what you're doing, and they were supporting
Nice.
us, even though like even though our wholesale is big now, it wasn't big at the time. It's just knowing, okay, a product's coming out is good. The people that were buying those five loaves love the five loaves, and
Listen, it all takes. They say one customer can get you far,
exactly.
so that's awesome. And you, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, right now, I know you have very loyal customers, and I know by your social medias, which we're gonna go ahead and leave
Yep.
also right there, so everybody can check them out. And we're also gonna go ahead and leave all the addresses and places, so if you're close by, you can go ahead and stop by.
Mm-hmm.
But I know you have loyal customers, and I know that by your social media, everybody on a daily basis
Mm-hmm.
be posting your bread, which is amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you first opened, did you have any point where you were kind of, this is not gonna work? What did I do? Am I like, was there any moment when you first opened your first one that you thought maybe I should have done something different?
In the first one, I feel like it was discouraging, and I was putting in a lot of hours to basically sell barely any bread. We were doing well at the farmers markets in those first few months, and like that was encouraging. And it was just kind of like it's going to turn around, it's going to turn around, but it was discouraging at the beginning. And the thing that eventually led to us actually turning around was when Liz Balmaceda actually came and visited us at the bakery. Like
Oh,
it was
that's
supposed to be a
awesome.
photo shoot. Her friend was going to come do a photo shoot. She asked, "Can I come by?" and everything. And like Liz wasn't supposed to come. She actually went to a Gloria Estefan concert the night before, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty tired. Like I don't know if I'm gonna make it." But she like rallied and made it over, and like she wrote an article about us, like a really glowing article about like it's like she wrote like like walk past the caution tape and you come into like the best bread and like
Listen, that caution tape, yeah, I feel like you need to have one on a wall
yeah,
just to like remember what it was when you
exactly.
first opened. That's awesome. That's funny.
And it was like and it was glowing. And we went from selling it was like 5 loaves of bread to 20 loaves of bread during those early days to it was like literally overnight 250 loaves of bread. And like luckily we had an oven that was handled for it, and like it was, and that's actually easier to bake at scale rather than like only throwing a few loaves in because the ovens bake more evenly and everything. So we were able to scale up, and that was great.
That's awesome.
And we
Now,
got accounts locked in from that as well. Like
oh
we
wow.
had a new wave of people coming in, a lot of our more loyal accounts. Like the Breakers officially signed on after they saw the article. Like they were ready, and they were like, just we have to wait till you get
They're
everything
waiting.
nailed
Yeah,
down.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course, of course.
Cucina and Johan's Joe, who we still work with now, like they were all they saw the article and like, yeah, we want to use you.
Oh,
and it
that's
was
awesome.
really cool.
And these are great places
Oh,
because I
amazing
mean we
places.
went. I mean I grew up in West Palm and I've been to every single one of them, and I mean it's
Mhm.
amazing places. So, but when you started this process and you got this all up and running,
Mhm.
the whole process of you getting from 5 loaves to 250, right? That's what it was.
Yeah.
What went through your mind that first night? Like that night when you went from 5 day breads to 250, because it's a
Hmm.
whole difference. And I know your bread doesn't. You can't make this day to night, right?
Hmm. No, you have to, it's a 3-day process.
Wow.
So I remember there's like the first day we sold out in like 20 minutes because I didn't realize how big of an impact the article was going to have, but it had like a really big impact. And like I'd been making and donating bread. Like so when I said like we sold 5 loaves, we were making like 50 or 60 and just like of everything, and like it would just get donated. We'd bring them to like the fire station or like El
Wow.
Sol, or like figure out a way to like not
Yeah,
throw them
move the
away.
bread, of
Yeah,
course.
but we had to make something. Like it wasn't just like 5 loaves coming out, but it was that's what we were selling. So we had like a 50 loaves, and it's like, oh wow, like we sold the 50 loaves out in 20 minutes. Okay, next day let's go to like 75. Oh wow, we sold the 75 loaves out in like an hour.
Nice.
And like it was that weekend the article actually came out. It was like a really stormy day. We had about like 250. The Gardens Green Market was canceled, so all the Green Market bread stayed at the shop, and we sold like 250 loaves in like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it was amazing. I remember like walking out to people's car and like with an umbrella saying, "Hey, I'm so sorry we sold out. Come visit us again. Come visit again."
Wow.
And like I really appreciate you and like stuff like that. And that was it was like that's a day that I'm never gonna forget. It was like the day I was like, okay, like we're gonna be okay.
And this was after how many days of being open?
Like 3 months.
3 months.
It was like 3 months of baking into a void. And like if it wasn't for Liz, it would have
God.
definitely we would have gotten there eventually, but it would have taken way
Of
longer.
course.
And like I really attribute like that early just success to her.
That's
Like
amazing. Now in perspective, 5 breads a loaf.
mhm.
That's not enough to get your lights on
No, not at all.
a day. What about the team that you had? Like,
Mhm.
what was your process? Do you still have this original team, or is
No,
there
a lot of them
some
like
here
moved
and
on. A
there?
lot, yeah,
Okay.
but I have some people with me now that have been with me for a long
Oh, that's
time, and like
awesome.
they're absolutely amazing people. Like we have like a really solid, strong team.
Nice. And I think that's what you need. Number
Mhm.
one behind you, especially to have this open, especially 2 locations now. Congratulations
Yep.
on the second
Thank
one.
you. Yeah,
That's
6 months
amazing.
in now.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
I guess it's
So
almost 7 now.
yeah, yeah, that's awesome. So now, when did you decide that you wanted to open the second one? Because opening a one and being successful in one is great. I think
Hmm.
that's what everybody wants to that's looking to open a business.
Hmm.
Your goal is to open one and just be successful at one. Now you have two, and I know you're in the green markets as well,
Hmm.
all over West Palm.
Yep.
So when was the day you woke up and decided, let me go bigger and better?
It was actually with the Breakers. They wanted to buy dinner rolls from me, and they wanted to buy dinner rolls, and I was like, yeah, I can't do that in my Jupiter space. And they're like, oh, but we want to buy like thousands, and it's like, yeah, I can't do that. And I was like, this is annoying. Like I can't do this. Like I want to be able to make this. I want to be able to provide more bread. I want to be able to make more. I want to
Of
be able to make
course.
more nourishing bread. And it was like, well, this is annoying. Like so, it was like I need to figure out how I can like solve for this. So it was between that and then meeting with like I was had meetings with the guys from Bukan. Like they wanted to outsource their bread program, but still have like a bit of like control over the process.
Okay.
And like because I was talking with Chef Clay and Sam, like the owners of the restaurant group, and they were saying that they were like really looking for someone that would be able to handle the scale of it and still be able to like provide, be able to take feedback and actually be able to almost like private label their bread. And
Nice.
I was like, oh wow, that'd be cool if I could do that. And
And
they
Bukan, I
actually,
mean, that little window sells
oh, they sell tons of sandwiches,
sandwiches
and they're the best
on the
sandwiches ever.
daily basis. Like I'm talking about, like when you go there, it doesn't matter if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It doesn't matter the day you go there. There's gonna be like 10 people
Hmm.
waiting on sandwiches. So, and we even buy them for our manager meetings at my
Hmm.
actual current job. So, they're great. I mean, we fight over them
Hmm.
basically. And on top of that, knowing that it's your bread, and the funny part is when we bought them last time, everybody in the table was like, "Oh, this is bread by Johnny's."
Hmm.
So everybody was kind of, it's a nice collaboration.
Oh,
It's
it's a great
awesome.
collaboration, and like the cool thing, so they actually invested in the new space, and that was an amazing
Nice.
thing. And the fact that we were able to do the bread for them, and like that, it was very collaborative. They were very upfront when the bread wasn't coming out right, which is what I needed, and like being able to bake at scale and be able to provide that much for them day in and day out has made me grow exponentially as a bread baker,
Wow.
because it's you need to provide something consistent every single day, and that consistency can't waver when they're putting out hundreds of sandwiches. You can't put out a
Yeah.
product that's not the same. So that's taking that. It was really taking that artisanal bread approach and scaling it. And that was, as a baker, it's been my biggest challenge so far. But I'm proud to
Listen,
say
you're
that we think
here
we've
now. Yeah.
more like knock on wood, we've gotten it more or less dialed in. Occasionally they'll take a tape measure and it'll be an inch off, and I'll be like, oh man.
Yeah. Hey, listen. It is what it is. But now you're what? How many years deep? This is amazing.
I guess technically it's 14 years
14
deep.
year.
Yeah, 14 years deep. I'm getting close to being more a bread baker for a longer part of my life than not, including like infancy.
That's funny. So now that you open your second one,
Hmm.
I know that knowing and talking to you personally, I know that there were some challenges
Hmm.
more than what it was in the first one.
Oh yeah, that's like night and day.
Let me double check the mic. Yeah. I just always gotta check the mic, make sure that
Yeah,
that's
you don't want to lose
it. Mm.
footage.
Okay, so talk to me about the second one. Open. You've been open for 6 months, but before that, open to the public, right?
Open the public since May.
Since May. Now, before that, when did you get this place? And tell me the process.
So it was.
Tell me the
It was
struggles.
it was definitely a lot more involved in getting this place open. It's like 4 times the size of the Jupiter shop, and it was like 4 times the headaches of getting
The
it
headaches.
open. It's open now. The equipment is working beautifully. The bread is looking great, but it's definitely a challenge getting everything right. Being able to produce at scale, getting used to new temperatures, getting used to new equipment. The bread was coming out pretty wonky in the beginning. Stuff was looking weird. It wasn't looking correct. And it was like definitely affecting me very mentally, especially when you have your name on the business and like you're always been known as like the bread guy. When the bread is not coming out good, it's definitely like you feel like, am I a fraud? Am I really the bread guy? When you see a bunch of flat pancakes come out of the oven and you're like,
This is not supposed
this
to
is
be
not
like
the
this.
case. Yeah.
Oh, that's great though. But what was your biggest challenge opening this? Like, when did you get the place, and from what time to what time did you open? Like, how was this
The
whole?
build out was very challenging. It took about 4.5 months longer than it should have to do, between permitting issues and things like that.
Now, let me pause you there. 4 months
It's not crazy.
is not crazy, but 4 months for a owner business or a small business opening trying to
We
get
lost most of the
bigger.
season.
There you go. So 4 months could mean not even 4 months, a month. Imagine not having any revenue in 1 month and having still to carry out your project. Like,
Hmm.
it's not easy.
No, no, not at all.
It's not easy. And I'm telling you, the headaches. Um, I'm pretty sure you were talking to yourself at night. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you were just trying to work out numbers and trying to
Hmm.
get things going. So, second location,
Mhm.
it went hard. I mean, things happen.
Hmm.
It took a long time to open. Now you're open. How do you feel about it?
So it was really interesting. Getting it open and everything. It was so stressful and so draining. For a while, I had like lots of negative thoughts associated with the space, and it wasn't until it's just like I just had like a mental reset on the space, and I was like, I should be happy. Like this is a big place. It's like where I can make so much bread here. Like I had to have that like paradigm shift, and I was
Yeah.
like I can do big things here. And then that kind of just remotivated me just to start like just getting in there and just like testing R&D, going out and finding new accounts, going out and doing all this stuff. And it was now I like love the space. Like I'm like this place is awesome. Like it's like a giant laboratory
That's
where I can
awesome.
make any bread I want to do. Like I have a rack oven, I have a deck oven, I have a bagel machine, I have like giant mixers, I have dividers, I have roll makers. Like I now I can really just go to town. I can produce at scale, and like I love being in there now, and it's an awesome feeling. I have pallet storage, so I can get my freshly milled flour at a larger quantity, and I can support the mill. I can get barrels of raw local honey. I can get like all these
Nice.
things that are like that would never have been accessible in Jupiter. I'm like I can do it here, and like it's really cool. So I love being there now, and it always sounds cliche, but I think the bread has gotten better since that paradigm shift, because
That's good. That's great.
you can feel the love. As weird as it sounds, like
That's
it's
awesome.
because I mean bread is living, and I
Yeah,
think it does feel that the same way people feel love and they feel the care that goes into things.
that's awesome. I'm very happy for you, bro. That's I think that's when you get to that
Hmm.
point where you just like it's happening.
Hmm.
You know, it's you work so hard to get where you're at, and I know you were telling me that between the first and the second one, that period of waiting time, you also lost a couple of your
Yeah, it
employees.
was. We had a lot of accounts that we were planning on opening in like October. So I told them that we'd be ready by end of November to start producing for them. So end of November rolled around, we weren't ready to start producing. We didn't have the space ready, so but we still had to produce them, so we didn't lose the new account.
Yeah,
So we were doing the work of like three bakeries out of the one small one in Jupiter when the other one wasn't ready, and like it ended up like it was a lot, and it became too much for a few of the bakers to handle, so they
that
left.
sucks,
That
man.
led up to like right when we first opened the new, like got to the new one, and it was like that's what made it so hard in the beginning. But we I was able to recalibrate. I have three absolutely incredible bakers working with me at the new space, and it's great to have them to like bounce ideas off of, talk to, and like really hone in the process. And I'm very fortunate for that.
That's amazing.
And like it's like a recalibration, and it's like what, like it can be hard, but we can always figure it out. You can always recalibrate. We're gonna make it.
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
Mhm.
that's the attitude you need to have. So if you can go back to the first day when you decided to get a first location, what will you tell yourself now that you have gone through all this and you have two locations? What could you have? What could you tell yourself?
I'd say just like not to compromise on the bread. Like it's like I think it's like it's always the most important thing, making sure it's coming out right. Like it's like we were talking about earlier. It's like if you have that good product, things will fall into place.
Yeah,
And like I feel like that's the most important thing is like always make sure the bread comes out good. Like make sure because you never know who's gonna walk in. Like
yeah,
I remember you gave me the call about like the Hilton. It's like you never know. Like is a chef from the Hilton gonna come in and get bread that day? Is gonna be someone or just someone off the street who like loves
yeah.
it. You never know who it could be, but there no one's ever less important, and you just want to make sure you're always on.
That's awesome. Well, I'm very happy, Johnny. I think this is a great product. I'm very happy to be able to tell the world how hard it was to get where you're at because it wasn't easy, but also for people to understand what it took to get here, right? I think a lot of people just go to places and they go to their favorite place, favorite bakery, favorite coffee shop, and they enjoy a loaf of bread or a cup of coffee. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of people understand what it took to get to that point. So I'm very happy to be able to have you on and also be able to tell your story. I think this is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. So to finish up, tell us about the product.
Yeah, so we make beautiful organic sourdough bread every day. We use a natural starter, and you can see here these are two of our signature loaves: our country white sourdough and our heritage whole grain. We use local and regional products for almost everything. Like all of our whole grain flour comes from Farmer Ground Flour, which is an amazing stone ground organic mill out in Trumansburg, New York. We don't use sugar in any of our breads. We use local raw honey from Sierra's bees. We use milk from Sutton out in Okeechobee, and like we're just very methodical about the ingredients we use, and we just try to provide the most delicious and nourishing bread that we can day in and day out for
That's
whether
awesome.
it's people who are retail customers or for the restaurants because like it's all about like trying to create a better food system, and the best way to do that is working with everyone and like making sure that you're able to support everyone, and it's like an ecosystem,
Yeah, of
like,
course.
and that's really special.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Johnny, social media.
Yep, Bread by Johnny. We have Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, Instagram, Facebook.
Oh, that's
Bread
awesome.
by Johnny and Bread by Johnny South.
Okay.
Um, yeah, we have two locations. Bread by Johnny, 1695 West Indian Town Road, Suite 6 on Indian Town and Maplewood. And our new location, Bread by Johnny South on Okeechobee and Military, 4833 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 105.
Listen, you know those addresses down pat.
Yep, I
Well,
do.
that's awesome. Well, Johnny, thank you so much for being on Behind the Line, and
Mhm.
go check them out.
Yep, thank you, Chef.
Of course.
Cool, that was fun.